Pop. Just remember. Yes, we all remember. This is the L2C Media Network, and this is the Baxley Sports Final with Steve the Baxman Baxley. I'm Franklin Pangborn from the Last Call Cafe Spreaker Show. Now, with all the headlines and the details of a wild Thursday night in sports, more or less, Steve the Baxman Baxley. Hey, thank you. By the way, let's get rid of one thing. Normally, we would bring you a promo of Nick Ricetta's show tonight on YouTube, but tonight he is not going to do one. He will instead be doing one probably on Twitch, but that's his gaming thing. So he'll be back tomorrow because it's Friday, and you know what that means. Everybody get ready, because I have a feeling Drex is going to be a part of it. That means an unpredictable Friday show. But tonight, no main show, just a little watching of movies and whatever else he does on the other streams. As for us, I do want to make one programming, whatever they call those things, program announcements. Tuesday, November 3rd, will be the day we all go to vote, unless you already have gone out to vote. But if you're like me and I'm a traditionalist, you'll go vote in person. Of course, I'll be wearing gloves, a mask, a hat, and some protective footwear, so I won't give any diseases or anything to anybody. And I'm keeping my phone at home because I'm not going to violate any rules.
You can put it in your car.
Thanks, Mom. Either that. But I am going to be voting in person. Now, here is the program announcement. Now, it's obvious with the election, everybody going to elect, the Pope? We're electing a Pope? No, the President. Anyway, so instead of the hour-long show that we usually do, we're going to sort of shrink it down to 30 minutes because of the election coverage. We don't want any of you to miss this one because the world is counting on all of us. Now, you see, if we had a higher budget, there'd be an echo emanating. But since we don't, so we'll be on from 11:30 to midnight Eastern time. Then we're going to shut her down and weave ourselves into a night of election coverage from someplace other than the usual networks. So there we go. Anyway. So I thought I'd let you know, Tuesday, election night Tuesday, we're only on for a half hour. So you're going to miss all this fun, including the monologue. And a lot of you have been wondering where my other thing is, the Steve Baxley speaking on. That'll be coming up after the election. I got about 6 topics. I'm going to tape 6 shows, put them on youtube.com/lugnut6. So y'all can either laugh, enjoy, or, well, just tell me I'm doing rotten. I'll try to do better. I'll try to go from rotten to lousy. Anyway, speaking of which, let's set her up, Joe, because we got an hour and we're going to kill it with sports. Let's give you some of the headlines and give you some of the details of this wholesome night in sports that well, actually, to tell you the truth, it was a little boring tonight. We'll try to explain for you here. But here we go. If you're ready, let's do this. Major League Baseball news. Let's kick it into gear. That's right. We got some MLB news for you, and probably won't be the last time we say that word. But Here we go. Ryan Braun has been a fixture on the Milwaukee Brewers roster for nearly a decade and a half. Well, that may be about to change. The Brewers declined their part of a mutual option in Braun's contract, deciding they'd rather pay him a $4 million buyout than the $15 million he would have received otherwise, according to Tom Haudricourt of the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. Now, Braun was included in the Major League Baseball Players Association list of free agents, a list that we could have done, but we would have been here 3 days. And it suggests that the move is official. Now, the move doesn't come as a surprise. The Brewers, as with most every other team, figured to proceed in a fiscally conservative manner this winter because of the revenue they lost during the pandemic. Braun's performance this season didn't help to change their minds either. The 37-year-old Braun, that's right, he turns 37 in mid-November, had the first sub-replacement level season of his career, according to Baseball Reference's calculations. His 233, 281, and 488 slash line in 39 games of the 60 in this pandemic shrunk season translated to 101 ops. He previously checked in below 110 just once, that coming back in 2018. Now, Braun had his exit velocity drop several little numbers, while his pull percentage and launch angle increased slightly, suggesting that perhaps he was overcompensating for decaying bat speed. He also had his walk rate dip as he became more aggressive at the dish, particularly when it came to expanding his strike zone. Now, if it is the end for Braun, either in Milwaukee or in a hole, then he'll finish with 46.7 wins above replacement, 352 home runs, and a 134 ops plus. He won the 2007 Rookie of the Year award, the 2011 Most Valuable Player award, and he made 6 All-Star games. For as skilled as Braun always was as a hitter, his legacy was tarnished when he was suspended for using performance-enhancing drugs. He later admitted that he had lied when he petitioned an earlier positive test, one that saw him point fingers at the test collector by accusing him of being anti-Semitic, according to ESPN.com's Jeff Pazan. So, let's get back to more headlines. And here we go, emoji. Now, in the National Football League newsreel tonight, the NFL trade deadline 2020, and it looks like there's going to be a fire sale with the once mighty New England Patriots. As the New England Patriots can vault themselves back into the AFC East race with a win over the rival Buffalo Bills on Sunday. Now, in the meantime, they're preparing for a scenario where they drop 3 games below 500. The trade deadline, really not only in a full-scale panic, but in what we're going to call a full-on fire sale rebuild, at least in consideration, of course. The team has been very quiet thus far, Breer explained, but could be swayed to part with some of its best players if things don't go as planned as we hit the halfway point in Week 8. That includes all-pro cornerback Stephon Gilmore, who's been speculated as trade bait recently. New York did have previous trade talks centered on the star defensive back before April's draft, per, once again, Mr. Breer. And then again during training camp before restructuring his contract and signaling to some other teams that Gilmore was entering his last year with the Pats. Now, present, Gilmore could possibly net New England a bigger return than anyone else on the roster, although the former Bills standout still has an additional season remaining on his 5-year, $65 million deal with a $17 million cap hit due in 2021. He's also among the league's top covermen, a 3-time Pro Bowler and the reigning Defensive Player of the Year. Now, starting guard Joe Thuney is another prominent Patriot veteran who could be available ahead of Tuesday's deadline. The veteran has been floated in trade speculation before and is currently playing under the franchise tag. The dreaded franchise tag. All righty, back more to the headlines. Okay. In the National Football League, another NFL report for you. And yes, we got it. Oh, yes, we got it. And the Philadelphia Eagles just got excuse me, let's try it again. The Philadelphia Eagles got just 2 games out of Jalen Reagor before the rookie wide receiver landed on injured reserve earlier this season, decimating an already battered offense. Now, despite initially expecting to miss as many as 7 weeks, he returned to practice on Wednesday in preparation for Philadelphia's Sunday night game against the Dallas Cowboys on NBC. And now the first round draft pick is expected to soon return and will come off IR prior to Sunday, barring a setback. Now, the Eagles' other young receivers have stepped up in recent weeks with reserves, rookies, or 2019 holdovers like Greg Ward Jr., Travis Fulgham, and John Hightower producing in the wake of multiple injuries to veteran starters Deshaun Jackson and Alshon Jeffrey. But Reagor, who was drafted 21st overall out of TCU in April, has long been viewed as the most promising young pass catcher on the team, logging a 55-yard catch in his NFL debut and hauling in all 4 of his against Los Angeles. Now, that means his anticipated Sunday night return puts him roughly 2 weeks ahead of schedule. A welcome sign for quarterback Carson Wentz and an Eagles offense that still struggled to consistently find rhythm during a 2-4-1 start. Now, upon returning, Reagor will likely man one of the Eagles' starting outside wide receiver spots, with Fulgham holding. And here we go. And let's go to it. Where are we now? In college football, let's go to it. Here we go. Clemson star quarterback Trevor Lawrence announced Thursday that he tested positive for COVID-19 and will be inactive for the Tigers game this weekend against Boston College. Though Lawrence will be missed against the Eagles, perhaps more important for number 1 Clemson is whether he will be available to lead the team next Saturday when it plays its biggest regular season game of the year against number 4 Notre Dame. Clemson athletic director Dan Radkovich told CBS Sports that Lawrence tested negative for COVID-19 on Sunday, with ACC protocols requiring teams to test 3 times during game weeks. Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday, Lawrence's positive tests came on Wednesday. Lawrence said he is experiencing relatively mild COVID-19 symptoms. Now, it is unconfirmed at this time when those symptoms began for Lawrence. Coupled with ACC isolation protocols, it appears possible that he could be cleared to play against Notre Dame on Saturday, November 7th. Pursuant to CDC guidance, a student athlete who tests positive for COVID-19 shall be isolated for at least 10 days from the onset of symptoms, positive test, and at least 1 day, i.e. 24 hours, has passed since recovery, defined as a resolution of fever without the use of fever-reducing medications and improvement of respiratory symptoms, e.g. cough, shortness of breath, hyperventilation, accidentally seen the standings of the ACC. Just kidding about most of those. Now, what first must be determined is when symptoms began for Lawrence. If that date preceded his positive test on Wednesday, it would lead to an earlier start for his ISO clock. Now, if Lawrence's clock began Wednesday, it would expire next Friday as long as he is symptom-free for at least 24 hours and tests negative for COVID-19. Now, Lawrence will also have to undergo and pass numerous cardiac tests in order to see the field. 5-star prospect DJ Uiagalelei is being groomed to take over against Boston College. He was rated by various recruiting services as the number 1 player in the class of 2020. He has appeared in 5 games, completing 12 of 19 passes for 102 yards and rushing for 32 yards. Radakovich said, "We're going to put a junior 5-star on the bench. We're going to play a freshman 5-star. It's going to really confuse them." Well, we'll see how good they do on a Saturday. Yeah. Anyway, let's do this and talk about the big game that just occurred as the Falcons did it again after being embarrassed by the Detroit Lions. The Falcons had revenge on their minds. They took out their frustration on the Carolina Panthers. That's right. Led by Matt Ryan, Julio Jones had a defense that allowed just 3 points in the second half. The visiting Falcons defeated the Panthers on Thursday night 25-17. Ryan threw for 281 yards while rushing for a touchdown. Jones caught 7 passes for 137 yards for the Falcons, who have won 2 of their last 3 games after an 0-5 start. Atlanta scored on 4 of their 5 first-half possessions. Young-Ho Koo drilled 3 first-half field goals, while Ryan scored his 10th career touchdown run on a 13-yard scamper. Ryan's score came shortly after the Falcons stonewalled Panthers quarterback Terry Bridgewater's from receiver Curtis Samuel. His 12-yard run gave the Panthers an early 7-3 lead, while his 29-yard score gave Carolina a 14-6 lead 2 minutes into the second quarter. The Falcons responded with consecutive scoring drives to take a 16-14 halftime lead. At the start of the second half, Foysdale, Olukin, and Grady Jarrett combined to stuff the Panthers running back Mike Davis on 4th and a yard. The stop led to Cruz' 4th field goal, a 30-yard attempt that stretched Atlanta's lead to 5 points. Atlanta was preparing to get the ball back again when the Panthers ran a fake punt featuring rookie Jeremy Chin, who took the direct snap and rumbled 28 yards to Falcons 40. The Panthers parlayed the gamble in a 39-yard field goal by Joey Sly. Atlanta responded with an 11-play, 75-yard drive that was capped off by Todd Gurley's 8th touchdown run of the season. A 3-yard, 4-minute into the fourth quarter, Atlanta's lead stayed at 8 after Crew missed the point after attempt. The 2 teams traded punts before the Panthers took over at their own 5-yard line with 2:58 left. Facing a 3rd and 18, Bridgewater connected with D.L. Moore for a 42-yard gain as the Panthers had the ball at the Falcons' 24-yard line. But 3 plays after the big completion, Bridgewater, who missed 3 plays after sustaining an injury to his neck/head at the start of the fourth, was intercepted by Billy Ray Wilson, securing the Falcons' 2nd win of the season. Now, Atlanta received a purely vintage performance from Ryan and Jones. They were also complemented by a rushing attack that gained 131 yards and 2 touchdowns on 36 carries. The Falcons' defense, led by Keanu Neal, Deion Jones, Isaiah Oliver, and Dante Fowler Jr., came up with several key stops while allowing a season-low 17 points. Atlanta managed to win despite the absence of receiver Calvin Ridley, who left the game with an ankle injury during the second quarter. Now, the Panthers appeared to be building momentum after cornerback Dante Jackson's interception set up Samuel's 2nd touchdown that stretched Carolina's lead to 14-6. Ryan, however, responded with gusto and strength and stamina and chutzpah, leading the Falcons on 4 consecutive scores. What's next? Well, I'm glad you asked. The Falcons will be hosting the Broncos next Sunday. Denver's 2-4, heading into Sunday's home game against the Chargers. The Panthers will head to Kansas City with their head between their legs, or is that tail between their legs? Yeah, either way, it works. They will head to Kansas City, take on the undefeated Chiefs. Kansas City's 5-1, entering Sunday's home game against the winless Jets. How can Kansas City be undefeated? We'll just go with it. And once again, final score: Atlanta Falcons 25, Carolina Panthers 17. Ooh, everybody's screwed up on that one. All righty, folks. Let me grab another little drinky poo here. And I will tell you this. I need this. Gulp time. One more. Now, let's talk for a moment if we can. In fact, we're going to do it right now. It's time for a little MMA action. That's right, mixed martial arts. Mixed martial arts. Where's the air horn? Thank you very much. Nearly 2 decades into one of MMA's most underrated careers, filled with impressive wins and multiple weight classes spread across multiple promotions. Hi there. Gegard Mousasi continues to add world titles to his legacy. Mousasi, shouldn't that be Mousasi? Or Mousai. 47-7-2 relied on his size and smarts tonight as the bigger man and reigning the Bellator MMA middleweight title via unanimous decision against current welterweight champion Douglas Lima. Don't call me Ohio. 32-8 in the main event of Bellator 250 inside the Mohegan Sun Arena in Newcastleville, Connecticut. The 35-year-old Musai, former Strikeforce lightweight heavyweight champion. Remember Strikeforce? I don't. And Pride veteran. Remember Pride? Lions do. He took home judges' scores of 48-47 and 48-46 twice, claimed the vacant title he lost by majority decision to Rafael Lovato Jr. in 2019. Lovato, 10-0, was forced to retire this year while dealing with a brain condition called cerebral cavernoma. Well, not only did Masai hold a 4-0 advantage to takedowns, all which seemed to come at strategic times, he perfectly halted a final round rally from Lima with one in the final 2 minutes, using leg strikes to make Masai a bit stationary. Lima was enjoying his best stretch of the fight, only to be stifled by Masai's size and control on the ground. Overall, Masai outlanded Lima by a margin of 89-50 to win his 10th fight overall. Over his last 11, including his final 5 with the UFC before joining Bellator in 2017. Now, you're probably saying to yourself, well, that's good, Steve, but what about the results, huh? Well, let me tell you first about the other side. The size difference with Masai, a former light heavyweight who also holds wins at heavyweight, became the biggest storyline heading into this, although Lima proved strong enough to withstand his offense on the feet in a way former Bellator welterweight champion Rory McDonald was unable to when he moved up to challenge Masai in 2018. The main issue for Lima is that he strictly didn't do enough. The 32-year-old Lima was repeatedly backed up to the cage with ease and never began to take the lead offensively until the final round when he committed to leg strikes to slow Masai down. Whether it was being gun-shy or extra protective to defend takedowns, Lima simply got started too late and performed in a less than inspiring manner, despite coming in on a red-hot tear following a victory in the Bellator MMA welterweight World Grand Prix. Let us give you the entire card and the results therein. Yes, we are going to do that. I'm going to put it in here. Cody Law defeated Orlando Ortega via first-round submission, the D'Arc choke. Boy, you're fast. Have to give Uno his her treat for tonight. Her little treat snack. There we go. As we said, Adam Borix defeated Eric Sanchez via unanimous decision, 29-28, 30-27, 30-27. Johnny Eblin defeated Taylor Johnson also via unanimous decision, 29-28, 30-27, 30-27. Ain't we got fun? Sabah Homasi defeated Bobby Volker via second round TKO punches. And here's a familiar name. AEW wrestler, part of the Inner Circle, and MMA fighter extraordinaire, Jake Hager, didn't lose his touch. He defeated Brandon Carlton via split decision, 29-28, 28-29, 29-28. Those numbers are again. Dalton Rosta defeated Ty Gurder via unanimous decision, 30-27, 30-27, 30-27. Word. Henry Corrales defeated Brandon Gertz via split decision, 30-27, 27-30, 30-27. Rip! And finally, Gigard Mosai defeated Douglas Lima via unanimous decision, 48-47, 49-46, 49-46. Set hike. And that is your Bellator 250 card results and discussion. There you go. Anyway, 7 minutes after the hour of midnight Eastern time. Lost Playing the interwebs tonight. Nick is going to do another thing outside of the YouTube network. If you want to catch that, you might have to go to Twitch or some other little streaming servile. Okay, now we do have some Major League Baseball news, as if the Brewers parting ways with a former MVP after 14 years wasn't enough. We got two teams who announced new managers. Well, one team that announced a manager, another one that's closing in on one. Shall we talk about this one? And this one, let's put it this way. I got to question it. In fact, I'm not the only one questioning it. But here we go. The Chicago White Sox have hired, or wait a minute, should I say not hired, but rehired? Or I guess maybe we should say hired. Well, I'll say the Chicago White Sox, instead of saying rehired or hired, they've rebooted. So I guess you could say Tony La Russa 2.0. The team made the announcement Thursday afternoon. Here it is. Tony La Russa, a member of Baseball's Hall of Fame, the third winningest manager in baseball history, a three-time World Series champion, and four-time winner of the Manager of the Year award, has been named the new manager of the Chicago White Sox. La Russa, who's 76, no, boys, no. I want the other one. I'll say it again. La Russa, 76. Thank you. Wasn't the right one, but we'll accept. Has managed since winning the 2011 World Series with the Cardinals. Now, he jumps past Astros skipper Dusty Baker. He's 71. For the title of the oldest manager in baseball. Now, the oldest manager in history was Connie Mack, who worked until he was 87. Yes, indeed. Though it's been a while since La Russa pulled the strings in the dugout, he is one of the more decorated managers in recent MLB history. He started with the White Sox in 79, managing parts of 8 seasons with them. He also managed parts of 10 years with the Athletics and 16 full years with the Cardinals. This is what the chairman of the White Sox, Jerry Reinsdorf, had to say. Yes, his hiring is not based on friendship or on what happened years ago, but on the fact that we have the opportunity to have one of the greatest managers in the game's history in our dugout at a time when we believe our team is poised for great accomplishments. Excellent. Only Mack and John McGraw have won more games than La Russa. He has 2,728. He's only 25 away from tying McGraw When it comes to playoff wins, only Joe Torre's 84 are more than La Russa's 70. Only 5 managers have won more World Series or pennants than La Russa. Now, the question is, how will La Russa's skills translate after 9 seasons of not doing the job, especially with such a young and talented team heading into 2020, uncertain year, or heading into 2021? The White Sox hadn't a winning record since 2012, but they went 35-25 this season. The core includes veteran MVP candidate Jose Abreu, veteran Cy Young contenders Dallas Keuchel, other star caliber veterans like Tim Anderson, Yasmani Grandal, and Lucas Giolito, along with exciting and talented youngsters like Yohan Moncada, Eloy Jimenez, and Luis Robert. There are plenty of reasons for excitement with the White Sox moving forward. Now, the White Sox were bounced from the wild card round after losing to third-seeded Oakland A's, and it was enough to get Rick Renteria fired. Renteria was previously fired from the Cubs managerial job in favor of Joe Maddon, who went on to win the World Series with the Cubs 2 years later. Though Renteria's Cubs record was 73-89, the situations have some similarity with an up-and-coming team looking to take the next step with a new manager. Now, time will tell if that's La Russa, but he's the one the White Sox brass have chosen. Good luck. Now, on the other side of the coin, the Detroit Tigers. We're looking for a new manager. That's right. I did say that. They were looking for a new manager since Ron Gardenhire announced his retirement due to health reasons. And there is a report out that the Tigers may be closing in on that manager. And in fact, former Astro manager A.J. Hintz's season-long suspension. It didn't take much time for him to near an agreement on a new job either. The 46-year-old Hinch talked with the Detroit Tigers on Thursday about their managerial vacancy and was making progress towards landing that gig as of tonight, according to Buster Only of ESPN. Detroit's interest in Hinch should come as no surprise. General manager Al Avila acknowledged that Hinch and former Red Sox skipper Alex Cora, ousted as part of the scandal's aftermath, were, quote, on my list in early October. Hinch spent 5 years at the helm in Houston, winning 59.4% of his regular season games and a pair of American League pennants. The Astros also won the 2017 World Series under his watch and recorded 3 consecutive 100-plus win seasons. It didn't hurt that he also had a pitcher named Justin Verlander. By the way, again, thank you. Again, you're welcome. Now, whether Hinch has expressed enough contrition for his part in the Astro scandal is to be debated. Remember, his idea of putting an end to things was to smash a pair of television monitors, but those who find his apology wanting could at least take solace in knowing that Diane Perry ranked the Tigers' job as the worst of those available. Here's what Perry wrote. The Tigers, they have entered 4 straight losing seasons and aren't far removed from a 114-loss campaign in 2019. While they were more respectable in 2020, the bar for recent success is quite low. If you're the new manager, however, that low bar is actually a good thing. What's also a good thing is the young pitching situation. Casey Mize has the wherewithal to be a future frontline starter, and Tariq Skubal and Matt Manning also have strong potential as long-term members of the Detroit rotation. On the hitting front, Spencer Torkelson, the top overall pick of the 2020 draft, should move very quickly through the system and could be in place at some point next season. He has tremendous potential with the bat and is the kind of hitter around which lineups are built. Isaac Paredes and Daz Cameron are also top 50 or so prospects and should be core contributors on the next relevant Tigers team. For that to happen, though, the Tigers will need to hit on most of these names, and their recent player development track record is at least questionable. Sharing the division with the White Sox, Twins, and Pitching Factory Indians also isn't optimal. That said, there's young talent in place and family ownership that takes winning seriously when it's feasible. Now, as we told you, the White Sox also filled their vacancy on Thursday by hiring Hall of Famer Tony La Russa. Now, should Hinch and Detroit come to terms, that'll leave the Red Sox as the lone team with a managerial job available. Good luck. Drink. I do. All righty, kiddos and cadetties. Let's keep going on the old little showgram. We got some sad news to report in the National Hockey League, or from the NHL. And it is this. Travis Roy, the former Boston University hockey player who was paralyzed during a game in 1995, passed away at 45 years of age. Roy died on Thursday following complications from a procedure related to his paralysis. His story is one that is hard to forget. After receiving a number of Division I scholarship offers as a promising hockey star, Roy committed to the powerhouse program at Boston University and managed to make the lineup as a freshman. Then, 11 seconds into his first shift of his first game, he crashed headfirst into the boards. He cracked his fourth vertebrae and was left paralyzed from the neck down. That moment marked the end of Roy's hockey career, one cut cruelly short at 20. But it also marked the beginning of his incredible work as a philanthropist and inspirational figure. A few years after the accident, Roy established the Travis Roy Foundation in order to fund spinal cord research and provide necessary equipment to fellow spinal cord survivors so that they may lead more independent lives. Over the years, Roy's Foundation has raised millions of dollars to help others who suffered life-altering spinal cord injuries. Boston University's athletic department released a statement on Roy's passing Thursday. Roy had his number 24 retired by Boston University in 1997, making him the first player in program history to be honored with a retired jersey number. Statement by Boston University reads as follows. It is with heavy hearts that we mourn the passing of Travis Roy. His story is the epitome of inspiration and courage, and he was a role model and a hero to so many people. Travis's work and dedication towards helping fellow spinal cord injury survivors is nothing short of amazing. His legacy will last forever, not just within the Boston University community, but within countless lives he has impacted across the country. Our sincere thoughts are with his wonderful family as well as his vast support group of friends and colleagues. We here at the Sports Final send our respects, sympathies, and several millions of hugs to the family, colleagues, and his vast support group of Travis Roy. Travis Roy passing away at the age of 45. Welcome back, and thank you very much for observing a moment of silence and respect. Okay, and from there, let's go to that wonderful thing that we love to do, and that's check awful announcing to see if they got some headlines. And by the way, hmm, excuse me for a moment. I got something in my mouth. Ah, okay. Hmm. Now, the 2020 World Series is the third championship round to hit a decade plus low over last month. You have got to be kidding, but sadly, they aren't. I'm scratching a little bit. Anyway, every game in the series, every game in the baseball season had their downs. Any hope of the World Series not hitting a record low was snuffed out when the series failed to top 10 million viewers for any of its first four games. Sure enough, following the conclusion of the series with Tuesday's Game 6, it is officially a record low for the 2020 World Series, along with record lows for each of the six games in it. Tuesday's series finale drew 12.627 million viewers on Fox. It became the least watched Game 6 ever by 6%. Now, Game 6 of the 2014 Giants Royals series drew 13.372 million viewers. Overall, the series finished with an average viewership of just 9.734 million viewers. The least watched series ever. Previous record low came from 2012's Giants Tigers series, which drew 12.636 million viewers. This series marks a new record low by 23%. Furthermore, the overall series average clocks in at lower than what the previous low for a single game was. Game 3 of 2008's Phillies Race Series drew just 9.836 million viewers. That single game record low was broken by each of the first four games of this year's Fall Classics. Now, compared to last year's matchup between the Nats and Astros, which won 7 games and ranked as the third least watched series ever, this year's matchup between the Dodgers and Rays was down 29%. Now, if there's good news for baseball, it's that while this series was a record low, both the average viewership for the series and the average decline were lower than the record lows and declines seen by the NBA Finals and the near record low and decline for the Stanley Cup Finals, topping over only 2007. The bad news is that this year's World Series was taking place at its normal time on the sports calendar. It didn't go head to head with any presidential debates and only went head to head with one NFL game. Sports Media Watch also notes MLB games from October also marked 4 of the 5 most watched non NFL sporting events since the start of the live sports shutdown in March. Last year, the league had just 2 of the top 15, but it's worth saying that the most watched game from this year wouldn't have cracked the 15 this year. And while the fact the World Series match topped the NBA Finals this year has been a popular talking point, it should be mentioned that this makes just the third time that has happened since 2007. Now, 2009, Yankees Phillies and the 2016 Cub Indians are the 2 most watched fall classics over the last 15 years. So now that the season is over, we can turn our focus to 2021. If the ratings woes for MLB and other leagues other than the NFL continue on next year, then we have a much longer conversation about this striking viewership decline. For now, let's just say this blip is just that, a blip. But if it continues, well, there is no question we got a problem. Thank you, guys. And that problem is going to be whether or not MLB is truly the most watched. I'm live on the air right now.
Oh, I thought something was wrong.
No, but that's okay, Mom. Thank you. Okay, who is going to be working now? We never do this on this program, but for tonight, or for this little edition, schedule. So here we go. Here we go. Um, 7:30. Well, tonight we had South Alabama, Georgia and Southern on ESPN. Matt Berry, Mike Golick, and Larisha Harris were that. 10 p.m. on CBSSN. Rock and Ben Holden and Ross Tucker carried Colorado State at Fresno State. Now, here's the action on Friday with announcers. At 7 p.m., Southeast Missouri at Southern Illinois. That'll be on KFVS. And ESPN3 will simulcast it. Connor James, and Adam King. 2 Connors and a King. Yeah. 7:30 p.m. Minnesota at Maryland. ESPN's Jason Benetti, Andre Ware, and Quint Kesernick. Yes, let's say that together, shall we? Quint Kesernick. Yeah. 9 p.m. ECU at Tulsa, ESPN2, Clay Metvick and Rocky Boyman. And 9:45 it'll be Hawaii at Wyoming, FS1, Chris Myers, and the easily scrabbled name, the one name that could be a triple word score on Scrabble. There we go. My brain got scrabbled. Chris Myers and Petros Papadakis. Now, Saturday, SATURDAY afternoon. We start at noon Eastern with Boston College at Clemson on ESPN3 and ABC. Joe Tessitore, Mr. Holy Moly himself, along with Greg McElroy and Holly Rowe, will be on the call on that. The big game in the big house, Michigan and Michigan State. That game on Fox, yes, friends, it's going to get Gussified. The Mega Man himself, Gus Boom Boom Johnson, Joel Klatt, and Jenny Taft. Noon, Memphis at Cincinnati, ESPN, Mark Jones, Dusty Dvorak, and Paul Carcaterra. Hallelujah. Kansas State, West Virginia, ESPN Du, Roy Philpott, Kelly Stouffer, Jerry Punch. Coastal Carolina, Georgia State, ESPN U, Mike Corey, Jay Walker. Iowa State, Kansas at noon, FS1, Eric Collins, Ben Lieber. Georgia, Kentucky, SEC Network. Tom Hart, Jordan Rogers, Cole Kubelik. Purdue, Illinois will be on the Big Ten Network. Now you got to say it in full. Big Ten Network. Brandon Gaudin, James Laurentiis, and Rick Pizio. Wake Forest, Syracuse on the ACC Network. Chris Cotta, Mark Herglick, and Kelsey Riggs. St. Clair's Regional Sports Networks will carry the University of Texas San Antonio and Florida Athletic. The game will be also simulcast on Fox College Sports Atlantic. Chris Vosters and Max Starks. Temple Tulane on the Plus. Lincoln Rose and Keith Moreland. 2 p.m. UCF at Houston on the Plus. David Saltzman, Stanford Rout. 3 p.m. Abilene Christian and Mercer will be on Nexstar and ESPN3. Pete Yanity, Jared Singleton, Christian Banks. Troy at Arkansas State, ESPN3. Roger Twibell, Pete Cordelli, and Corey Keller. Rice at Southern Miss, Jason Baker, Dustin Allman. Western Colorado at Stephen F. Austin. Graham Doughty on ESPN3. By the way, all the rest of them are ESPN3. Graham Doughty and John Wilkowski. 3:30 p.m. Notre Dame at Georgia Tech, ESPN and ESPN3 and ABC. Dave Posh, Mike Golick, Marty Smith. Notre Dame, JMIRadio.com. Paul Burmeister, Ryan Harris, and Jack Nolan will be calling the game on radio. 3:30 p.m. LSU and Auburn. Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson, and Jamie Erdahl. Touchdown Radio, JP Shadrick and Ben Ladd. Northwestern Iowa will be on ESPN. Bob Weichenhausen and Dan, the man with the plan, Orlowski and Allison Williams. TCU Baylor, ESPN2, Dave Fleming, Rod Gilmore, Chris Budin. Indiana Rutgers will be on Fox Sports 1. Joe Beninati, Matt Millen, Coley Harvey. Sinclair's Regional Sports Networks will carry UAB and Louisiana Tech at 3:30, along with FCS Central, Chris Hassel, Mac Brown. 4 p.m., Texas and Oklahoma State, Joel Davis, Mark Helfrich. And for Westwood One Radio, Ted Emmerich, Chuck Long. Appalachian State at UL Monroe, Bill Roth, Dustin Fox for the U. Ole Miss and Vanderbilt, SEC Network, Dave Neal, DJ Shockley, and Don Davenport. 4 p.m., Virginia Tech, Louisville, the ACC Network, West Durham. Roddy Jones, Eric Wood, ESPN Radio will have Sean Kelly and Barrett Jones. Missouri Western, Central Arkansas, ESPN3, Steve Sullivan, Wes Moore, RJ Hawk. 6 p.m., Boise State Air Force, CBS Sports Network, Carter Blackburn, Aaron Taylor, Jenny Dale. 7 p.m., Mississippi State, Alabama, Sean McDonald, Todd Blackledge, Todd McShay, Allison Williams for ESPN, TJ Rives and Tiki Barber for Compass Media. 7 p.m., New Mexico at San Jose State, Guy Haberman and Charles Arbuckle on FS1. Charlotte and Duke, ACC, the Regional Sports Network, and ESPN3, Tom Worm, James Bates, and Kelly Kroll. Ohio State at Penn State's the ABC and ESPN big old game of the weekend, game of the night. Chris Feller, Kirk Herbstreit, Maria. I just met a goddess named Maria, and she's a tailor too. We also got Navy at SMU, Arkansas, Texas A&M. Navy at SMU. Anish Shroff, Tom Luganbill, and Ian Fitzsimmons on ESPN2. On the SEC Network, it's Arkansas, Texas A&M, Taylor Zarzor, Matt Stinchcomb, and Warren Seisler. Missouri at Florida, that's on the alternate SEC channel. Mike Morgan, Hudson Mason, Taylor Davis, Parlez-vous. Oklahoma, Texas Tech, Fox, Tim Brando, Spencer Tillman at 8. Louisiana, Texas State, ESPN-U, Mike Cousins, Renee Ingoglia. And 8 p.m., North Carolina, Virginia, ACC Network, Dave O'Brien, Tim Hasselbeck, Katie George. 9:30 p.m. on the sports network that is owned and run by the Eyeball. San Diego State, Utah State. Rich Waltz, Aaron Murray, Cherie Burns. And we got 2 more. ESPN will have Beth Mullins, Kurt Morrison, Stormy Boitanon. Western Kentucky BYU, and for BYU Radio, Greg Wrubel, Riley Nelson, Mitchell Jurgens. And the final one, Nevada UNLV, Fox Sports 1, Alec Faust and Petros Papadakis. So there you go. All in a nutshell. Parlez-vous, français. All righty. Let's okay. Let's get some shout outs done, shall we? And this time we'll go in a different order. We'll do the gram. Shout out to all my friends on the gram. It's known as Instagram, folks. And then, of course, as you know, when we end, we go straight to the scoreboard. L'chaim. You gotta love it. I know some people that do. Okay, let's say hi to Linda Steele. To, of course, the lovely Patty Riley. The lovely and enchanting Miss. She's a good person. and it's Ava Fiore, who whose website y'all got to join. It's good if you love sports. We also got to say hi to Kimberly Wells, Lisa Guerrero, Sammy Phillips. And if that's not enough, we say hi and hello to also the following people. That's Courtney Lynn Elwood, Francia Jones, Presley and Taylor, and Stacy Hayes. Boot. Now, let's get to Facebook, shall we? Let's get to that lovely thing we call Facebook and say to all of our good friends out there in the land of Nard. Uh, let's see, where are we here? My hair. Swear to God, I'm going to wash it, dry it, put a fluffer in it. Okay, we got Facebook. Uh, Angela Peterson, Christina Peterson, Yuki Tanaka, Emery Man, Jay the Brain Man, Matthew Nichols, Jerry Nichols, Nancy Nichols, January J. Keaton, of course, Brenda Dixon, Crystal Hart, Bobby Langford, Cleo Glide, Panda Yen, Yvonne Marie, Alan Obroff, Brenda Gaminsky, Sharon Baxley. We also got to say a good old hi there to Ricky Pickrell, Michael Pickrell. Hope you're doing well. And Tony Pickrell. We got Amy Hayes, Frida Hayes, Morris Hayes, Monica Cram, Casey Ann, and Sammy O'Neill. We also say hi to Myra and Sarah Beth. Also, for those of fun and excitement, Kadeem Zaire Mohammed, Peggy Ann Bies, Paco Zimmer, Joseph Yusuf Diaz, Danielle Wilcox Graves, and Charlie with a K Brown, who is not going with, who is, as rumors continue to persist, Charlie with a K Brown is not amongst those that have been signed by Apple TV. We also got Regal Flores, too. And let's just see. Thank you. Mark Wilson, Claire Flannery, Shannon Walsh, Brendan Nolan, Jeff Rollo, Marley Wiley, George Templeton, Dale Sankey, Blind Lemon, and of course, Blind Melon. And if that's not enough, we also got our favorite dynamic duo, Mr. and Mrs. Nellie K9 and Rebecca Symbolic. Also, we say a graciousness to Jamie Lynn Dauncey and our friends here on Facebook. I say to Twitter, hi, how are you? Great to have you. To all my friends on Twitter, Kellyanne Collins. We have more. Yay, I know. Mandy Summers, Wyatt Holiday, Peter Gilmore, Charlie's London, John Mallon, a good person. And let's see as it goes around here. I know we're at 12:41. We got 4 minutes. I do have to do the scoreboard. Yeah. Let's see. We also say Audrey Dogren, Alex Sims, Nick Mantis, all my friends over there at TV6, Marianne Manko, Dan the Man Leach, and Travis. Huzzah. And I don't believe it. Judge Judy is going to be on Amazon Studios. And, Pito Ada Luisa Fernanda, Liberty Lang as well. I don't believe this. But Judge Judy just signed a deal, and this is somewhat breaking news, with Amazon Studios and IMDb TV. Wow. That's going to be okay, I guess. Vic Mignogna, how you doing, dude? Huzzah. Nick Rekieta, Ty Beard, all the folks with Comic Skate. How you doing? Nita Parker and Ian Rogerson. Awesome devils, awesome people, awesome good people. Van Lathan as well. Let's see, we've also got what else do we have? Casey Lennox, Ivy McKellen, Sean Broyles, Lydia Cornell, Lena Gwynn, Kellyanne Collins, Elaine Boozler, and a partridge in a pear tree. And folks, that only means one thing. We've got 12:43, and we've just got one more thing to do, and that is the scoreboard. Because if we don't do the scoreboard, we can't go home. But then again, I am home. Can't go anywhere. Okay, let us, so I can at least do the rest of the show and say, here's your scoreboard. That means we got some good stuff coming up, especially baseball. Baseball from Japan and Korea still going on. It's beautiful, man. It truly is beautiful. So let's get some scores. We're up for it, aren't we? Yep, we are. We're up for it. And by the way, we are counting down to a moment in time when we will have some new equipment to bring you more of a safe version of our broadcast. We won't have to use things like a honey roasted peanuts can to hold things up. Wowza! We got a lot on the plate, so let's do it. Here's your your UEFA Europa League soccer score. AC Milan over Sparta Prague 3-0. Leicester City over Athens 2-1. Antwerp over Tottenham 1-0. Zagreb and Moscow tied at 0. Wolfsburger over Fjord 4-1. Skrivenia Zvezda, and they beat Liberec 5-1. Braga over Zoraya Luhansk 2-1. Hoffenheim over Ghent 4-1. Lask over Ludogorets 4-3. Lille and Celtic tied at 2. Villarreal over Quarbog 3-1. Maccabi Tel Aviv over Sivaspor 2-1. Arsenal over Dundalk 3-0. Roma and Sofia tied at 0. Alkmaar over Rijeka 4-1. Benfica over Saint-Lige 3-0. Klug and the Young Boys tied at 1. PAOK and Granada tied at 0. Mold over Rapid Vienna 1-0. Nice over HB Sheva 1-0. PSV over OMONIA 2-1. Rangers over Lech Poznan 1-0. Napoli over Real Sociedad 1-0. Slava Prague and Bayer Leverkusen 1-0. In basketball in the Euro League, CSKA Moscow over Valencia 80 over Baka. Try again. CSKA Moscow over Valencia 84-75. Zalgiris Kaunas over Lyon Villeurbanne 83-74. Fenerbahce over Maccabi Tel Aviv 75-65. Real Madrid over Bayern 100-82. Sweden hockey Frölunda over Örebro 3-1. HV 71 over Växjö 3-2 in overtime. And Oskarshamn over Skellefteå 3-1. In Japanese baseball, the Fukuoka Silverhawks over the Chibalati Marines 4-3, 4-6-1 for the Hawks, 3-7-0 for the Marines. Kayama got the win for the Hawks. His record is 3-1. Masuda got the loss for the Marines. His record is now 3-5. The Hansen Tigers over the Chunichi Dragons 3-1. 3-9-0 for the Tigers, 1-6-1 for the Dragons. Nishi got the win for the Tigers. He's 11-5. Oh no, and a lot of people are saying that. He got the loss for the Dragons. He's 10-6. They played extra. They got nowhere. The Hiroshima Carp and the Yakut Swallows ended up in a 3-3 tie, 3-7-0 for the Carp, 3-8-0 for the Swallows. No winner, no loser. Let's keep going. Nippon Ham Fighters over the York Buffaloes 4-3, 4-9-0 for the Fighters, 3-6-1 for the Buffaloes. Suguria for the Ham Fighters gets the win. He's 7-5. Yamada gets the loss. He's 3-5. Rakuten Golden Eagles with the Cebu Lions 13-5, 13-14-0 for the Eagles, 5-10-2 for the Lions. Neal for the Lions gets the loss. He's 5-8. Karashima gets the win for the Eagles. He's 1-3. Yokohama Bay Stars over the Yomiuri Giants 5-2, 5-9-0 for the Bay Stars, 2-7-0 for the Giants. Taaria. Thank you. The Bay Stars gets a win. He's 4-5. Sanchez for the Giants gets a loss. He's 8-4. In the Korean Baseball Organization, the KT Wiz Swan defeated the Hanwha Eagles 12-1, 12-16-1 for the Swan, 1-4-2 for the Eagles. Doosan Bears over the Kia Tigers 9-2, 9-15-2 for the Bears, 2-9-1 for the Tigers, and the NC Dinos got rid of the Lottie Giants 11-4, 11-17-2 for the Dinos. 4-10-0 for the Giants. And that, ladies and gentlemen, brings us to the following little gameplay that we always do by that time. And that is to say, we're out of time. Thank you, everybody, for watching, for enjoying, for rapturizing, and for everything else therein in the world of sports. This was indeed sort of a mild day of sports broadcasting and in sports in general. Thursday Night Baseball, actually the only thing going on besides a little college football. But we made it through, and we're going to make it through tomorrow. It'll be Friday, and that will be the biggest Friday night extravaganza ever. Don't forget, Tuesday night, we're only going to be on for 30 minutes, 11:30 to midnight. We might go beyond that, might go to about midnight, 12:15 a.m. But we're going to try to make it 30 minutes because of it's election night, and people are more concerned about who's going to be the next leader of this country. I don't know who it is, but I know what I'm going to do, and that is on November 3rd, I am going to be voting, and then I'm going to be right here doing my show at 11:30, and hopefully you'll all be joining us, and we're going to have some fun, either stopping at midnight or 12:15. Depends on what load of sports we got, and if none, we'll still bring you sports. We will never leave you sportsless. But until tomorrow, Friday, and that is Halloween Eve, and I was going to dress up as something, but hey, this scares anybody. Thanks, everybody, for your watching, for listening in, and for enjoying. If you enjoyed, please tell your friends and tell your family. Tell everyone you know. Come on down. YouTube.com/Lugnut6. 11:30, 11:45, depending on the sport event that is occurring at the time. We'll always try to give you a good time doing sports on a low budget. Till then, I am Steve the Baxman Baxley. It has been a thrill, an honor, and a privilege to do this. And we get to do it tomorrow. I think we're on a regular time, 11:30. 11:30 to about 12:30, more or less. Thank you all for watching. Have a nice morning here in the East Coast. On the West Coast, have a great evening. Steve Baxley remind you that may your favorite team always be winners. Good night, America, wherever and whomever ye may be. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a good one, everybody. Oh, yeah, I forgot to say it. This has been a presentation of Mystifying Creativity Productions in association with the L2C Media Network and L2C Sports. We'll see you tomorrow night.